Welcome to Cooking with Bobby Joe. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make blackened catfish nuggets and grits. This will smoke up your kitchen, so open a window and turn on a fan, but I can promise you it'll be the best smelling smoke you've ever had in your kitchen. I've been avoiding cooking any blackened fish because I don't have a stove hood yet, and the fan behind the stove is from the 1960s. It's very loud, and I do not think it's considered safe any longer. But we had these catfish nuggets and I wanted some blackened fish, so I just went ahead and did it anyway. Most cooks avoid smoke, but there are times when smoke is good. This will be one of those times. So I start with frying up some bacon. This is for the grits, and I'm also melting a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I will use that on the catfish nuggets. So you just fry your bacon up until it's done, and once it's done you just dip it out onto some paper towel so it can finish draining. Then you want to add in your sausage and onions, and typically I would use andouille sausage on this, but I didn't have any, so I just cut up 2 brats. It might change the flavor a little bit, but I think it'll still be good. Sometimes you just have to improvise when you're cooking. While that is cooking, I went ahead and put some water and chicken broth in a pot, and I brought it to a boil, and that is for the grits, and I forgot to film that when I did that. But this will be for the grits. Not all grits are the same. You need to look at the instructions on your bag of grits to see how much water and how long to cook, and I always replace half of my water with chicken broth. It gives the grits a much better flavor. Although these are going to have a lot of flavor with the bacon, onion, and sausage. I never use instant grits. That's just my personal preference. I'm not an instant kind of girl. I don't even own a microwave. So in this little pot we have 1 cup of water and 1 cup of chicken broth, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of butter. I brought it to boiling, and now I'm going to add in a half a cup of stone ground grits. And these grits I get from the old mill store in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. You can buy 5-pound, 10-pound bags, and they're cheap and they're delicious. Stone ground grits take more liquid when cooking, and that's why I say look at your grits package for your cooking instructions. I just whisk in the grits, reduce the heat to low, cover the pot, and let it simmer, stirring occasionally. And I'm only making 4 servings of grits, so if you need more, then follow the directions on the package. You want to scoop your sausage and onions out of the skillet. And now we're going to make some gravy. So in the same skillet you want to put 3 tablespoons of flour. And see y'all, I went ahead and messed that up, but we can fix it. I meant to melt 3 tablespoons of butter in the pan before adding this flour in, but that's okay, we can still make it work. So I'm going to add in the butter now. And I think this may be about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I really didn't need that much, and I didn't measure it. But we'll still make it work. I'm just going to whisk it until it's melted. And it does look like it's going to need more flour because I added too much butter. But wait, can you really have too much butter? I'm adding 2 tablespoons of flour at a time. It should brown. And now I'm going to add in some chicken broth and just whisk it until it thickens. You want to get a spoon and taste the gravy to make sure it's good. And I'm going to add a little more salt and pepper to make it taste a little better. Okay, back to the grits. They're starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. So I've got to stir them. Then I'm going to add in the sausage and onions and let that simmer on low. So I poured the gravy into a gravy boat and I cleaned up my skillet. I turned the heat on high. I've washed and dried my catfish nuggets and I'm going to add my seafood seasoning Creole blend. And it says blackening on the side of the jar. I'm just going to sprinkle it on both sides of the fish and kind of just mix the nuggets all around in this bowl until everything's covered. Okay, my skillet's starting to smoke a little, so that means it's hot enough. So let's add in some of these nuggets. I'm going to spread my melted butter on the fish nuggets and sprinkle some more seasoning because I just love the flavor. It needs to cook for about 3 minutes per side. And y'all, I didn't have blackened fish for the first time until a few years ago. I always wondered why anybody would want to eat anything that looked burnt, but I'm telling y'all, this stuff is so good. I may be flipping these over a minute too early. They aren't as blackened as I usually like them, but they will still be good. And you don't have to use catfish nuggets. You can use a whole fish instead. I just had catfish nuggets. That's why I did those. Plus, they are super, super good blackened. So while the other side's cooking, I'm going to add my cheese to the grits and mix it all up. And you want to cook your grits to whatever thickness you like. Remove the fish from the skillet. Yep, that skillet is smoking a lot, and that's what it's supposed to do. I'm going to pour a little more butter in it, and I'm going to add in the rest of the nuggets. It's smoking a lot better this go round, so they should get darker. Go ahead and spread more butter and sprinkle more seasoning on the nuggets. Let them cook 3 minutes each side. And I'm just moving the pan around a little, making sure the butter is getting under all the fish. Okay, it's time to flip. While it's cooking on that side, I'm going to go ahead and dip the grits. And I'm going to pour some gravy around the edges and put the catfish nuggets on top when they are done. Lunch is done. Now that the house is smoked up. What? We probably need to open some windows. Lunch is done. Oh, I forgot the final touch. Hang on. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. I will put the recipe on my blog, and I'll put a link in the video description. And now you share it with all your human friends. So thanks for watching. It's time for Steve the food critic to do his review, and yes, the house is smoky, so you get the full effect. Is that all your review is?
No.
You just can't talk because you're...
Well, it's got like 4 of my favorite things. Fish, bacon, brats, and grits.
And cheese.
And cheese. 5 things. I mean, if there was a way to slide some chocolate in here, that's about all we're missing. I mean, this is awesome. The taste is... Well, you got 3 different kinds of meats. Hey, I'm a guy. The grits are spectacular. I do see where the andouille sausage would add a little complementary flavor to the brats. that the brats can add because they're not spicy brats. But the fish and bacon together with the gravy and the cheeses and the blackened spice is really, really good. This is another one of those things I like to see how many times in a row we could eat it before I get tired of it, and I don't think it would happen.
Drill worthy?
Oh, definitely. I'm drooling as I'm eating. It's helping me process the food in my mouth.
The house is kind of smoked up. I think we need
It's worth it.
I think we need a stove hood this week, maybe, if I'm going to be cooking Cajun.
Okay. Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. I'm going to eat more. I'm done talking. I'm eating.